Hey, what's up you guys? Yes, as you can see, I am not Shane Dawson, but boy do I have some tea for you guys today. So as you can see from the title, I'm going to be doing a James Charles palette review slash conspiracy theory.
I'm using the James Charles palette and I'm having a hard time. I'm not talking crap, I'm just saying that I personally am struggling.
Yes, so I have already used it. I do already know what I think about it. I'm just going to show you guys how I feel about it. I do a lot of Facebook Lives and I have told them multiple times how I feel about this palette. So let's just go ahead and jump right into that. So what I'm going to be using is obviously the James Charles palette here. I have two of them. Let's see. We have two James Charles palettes here. And you may be wondering,
why do you have two James Charles palettes?
I'm going to tell you. So, I have two James Charles palettes because one of them was purchased in the first launch. Let's see if this is the first launch one. No. Okay. This one here was purchased in the first launch of the James Charles palette. And this is where the conspiracy comes in. This is my friend Alicia's palette. And this is actually the palette I used in my very first YouTube video. And I didn't say much about it in that video because it was my first one and I was like, I don't need to be coming for a palette in my very first YouTube video. But it did go on pretty kind of patchy, okay? But it wasn't anything I was just like, oh my god, I cannot handle it. This palette. Now, I'm going to say I did use different colors when I used this first palette. But anyways, this palette is the one I ordered. I think it was a third or fourth restock. As you can see, it's barely touched because I hate it, you guys. I hate it. I did a blue look with this, and it was disgusting. I immediately sold it to my friend Alicia, and she started using it once I sold it to her, and she seems to think, she thinks that her palette, her original palette that she got from her first launch, is different from this one. And so I already know I don't like the palette, but that is what I'm going to be testing today. So it's not really going to be a do I like the palette or not, because I already know the answer to that. Absolutely not. That's why I sold it. And I'm not trying to come for James. I'm not. I am a sister. I love James. I watch all of his videos. I love him, okay? Don't come at me. Please don't hate me, James. You're probably not going to see this, so don't even know why I said that. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and get started with the video. I'm going to do one eye with the palette from the first restock and one eye from the palette from the, I don't know, I'll have to look and see when I ordered it. I think the third or fourth restock. I don't know how many times he's restocked this palette. But yeah, I already know I don't like it, and I'm going to show you guys why I don't like it. I'm going to be using the blue colors because that's what I struggled with the most, and I will say there are some, I'm not going to say they're great because they're just not, in my opinion. They did not work. None of the colors worked great for me. But some did work better than others. And they are good, but some are really bad. And that's just the tea. I have worked with, first of all, I'm a cosmetologist. I do makeup for a living. And not that that means anything. There are some bad cosmetologists out there. But I use pressed pigments daily. I use them a lot. And I have never had to go out and buy some specific primer to do that. And they look really good when I use them. So, I don't know. And I found it kind of annoying that he kind of made it seem like you have to have an entire instruction manual to use this palette. I mean, not annoying. I mean, anyways, let's get into it and we'll chat while we do it. So I think I'm going to start with this bright blue called Playground. And I do actually, I think I remember liking this one. So let's see. And I have a mirror right here. So if you see me looking over there, that is why. I'm just using this small little brush and I'm going to pack this on. This is the one from the first restock palette. So, and I do not know if there's going to be a difference between these two. My friend Alicia, who now owns both palettes, just seemed to think that her initial one was a little bit, it just performed a little differently than the initial one. And in his video it did say that you should use you should pack it on first. So as you can see, that is what I'm doing. And it is very pigmented. Like, I'm not denying that these shadows are extremely pigmented. And the colors that he chose are really, really pretty. Like I said, I'm not trying to come for James at all. I love James Charles. I love him. And that's why I bought the palette in the first place, because I wanted to support him. And I thought it would be awesome because, like I said, I am a makeup artist. So I thought I could have every color in one palette and be set. Like, I was extremely excited about this. It took me a while to have the money for the palette because I was on my maternity leave. If you don't know, if you're watching this and you don't know, I do have a 5-month-old, so I was on maternity leave and I didn't really have extra money. Oh God. I already messed up. Intermission. I'll be back. I already messed up.
He's super fat too. That would just go inside my stomach and just stay there. I think that's up.
I accidentally put the same palette on this eye. I forgot. I was rambling. Alright, so now let's do this correctly. So, first eye, this is with the initial palette, and then I'm going to be doing the one that Alicia seems to think is not the same and is not as good. And I'm just going to take a different brush, same type of brush, but a different brush so it doesn't have that same product on it. And I'm going to tap into the same color playground and just go in with that. Oh, are you kidding? Can you see? That's some tea. It is patchy. This one actually went on okay. Let's keep it going. Ooh, conspiracy theory. Oh my god, what if the Illuminati comes for me? Does the Illuminati come after people for things like this? I don't know. It's so patchy. Are you joking? And I promise you guys, I'm not doing anything different with this eye. I'm using the same exact brush, just a different one so that there's not residual product left over. And I've never heard anyone talk about this, and I might be pulling this straight out my butt. I don't know. But these two palettes are from different restocks, so it kind of makes me wonder if there was like a formula issue with the palette that I initially got and hated. Because I did struggle with both palettes, but I didn't struggle with one as much. And it's kind of weird. I mean, this one just went on a lot patchier than this one did, definitely. So, T. Now, I think the next thing that I want to do is go in with a darker blue. I guess we're going to do a halo eye. It seems like that's what I've mapped out for myself. I didn't really go into this with anything in particular in mind. So, yeah. So let's go back to the original restock palette and tap into this darker blue. And this one is called Brother. I was just watching the James Charles palette, like where he initially dropped it. Just like where he initially like released like what it looked like and everything. I was just watching that, and I loved it where Ian was like very brothery. I don't know, I just liked that a lot. I thought it was so cute. Oh, I almost did the same thing. I didn't touch that to my eye, I swear. Alright, now I'm going to take the same brush, but different, and tap it in. And that looks okay. Not the worst, but not the best. And I'm just going to tap this one in. This one seems okay. Let me not speak too soon. Let me get it all on. Yeah, this one's okay. Okay. So, next thing I need to do is I look crazy. So, I think we need to do a little blending. What do you guys think? We should blend. And I will say that this is where it always goes wrong for me. So, fun.
It's hard for me to use. This is hard. And like, see, like, look, you see me blending? And do you see what's happening? And y'all have seen my videos before, like, this doesn't usually happen. It's not just me being stupid. Like, what? What do you mean? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, look, it's literally just like, I don't even know what it's doing. This is why I'm struggling.
Alright, let's see. I'm just trying to blend out the edges so that it doesn't look so, like, you see how this side looks really globby? I don't want that. And I'm not trying to make this palette look bad. I love James, and I wanted to love this palette so much. I mean, I purchased it, like, and I don't have a lot of extra money. I never buy more expensive makeup. So, yeah. Let's see. Can you guys see these enormous patches that are missing? this is what I'm talking about. This has happened every single time I have used this palette. And yes, I did use a primer, so don't come at me. Like, don't come at me, because I honestly don't care what anybody thinks. I'm just trying to give my honest opinion. If you love this palette, literally awesome. I'm so glad that you do, because, you know, that's what you want from your makeup. You want to really enjoy it. And I was just so disappointed because this just wasn't it, Chief. Like, it just wasn't. And you know what has made me mad? I'm just going to ramble a little while we blend. What has really upset me is seeing all these big YouTubers use it. Or not huge YouTubers, but bigger YouTubers will use this palette, and then they will say, like, during it, that it's patchy and that they're struggling with it. And then at the very end, they'll say, oh, but I love the palette. I totally recommend it. Have you guys noticed that? Specifically, I'm not trying to call nobody out, but I was watching, let me not say names. I was watching one, though, and he was using these blue shades, and the whole time it was so patchy, he was like,
I've never had this happen before. Like, this is so hard to use, blah, blah, blah.
And at the end of the video, he's like,
it's a beautiful palette. I love it. I definitely recommend it to you guys. And I was like,
you just got through saying that it didn't work for you. Like, why lie? You know, like, people don't watch your videos for you to lie to them just because you're scared that James Charles is going to come for your neck. You know what I'm saying? But me and my 128 subscribers, we don't care. We don't care. I'm trying to be honest with y'all and just spill the true tea from my personal experience. Lots of people love this palette, so, you know, that's fine. Alright, so I've got both eyes blended. Now we're going to go into a shade that a lot of people seem to have issues with. Let me see, what's the name? And I'm not getting these palettes mixed up, by the way, because one of them has the cover up here on it, and one of them doesn't. So that's how I'm telling them apart, just in case you guys were curious. So, you know, don't think I'm, like, really, like, tripping. See, this one has the little, this thing up top, so that's how I'm telling them apart. So I am going to tap into this dark color called Cola. And if I remember correctly, this is the color that really messed me up. So let's go in with that. And usually when I use pressed pigments, I don't pack them on. I just have never, I mean, I do sometimes, but I mean, it's never been a requirement for me to get the look that I wanted, you know. So that was kind of strange to me. I mean, yes, he is telling you what you need to use to make this palette work. So if you truly want it to work, maybe you should do those things, you know. But I've also never had to do that with an eyeshadow palette, and it just seems really extra, in my opinion. It really does. It's just a lot. And you know what? I don't know, you guys. It feels like this palette needs to come with a freaking instruction manual or something. Like, I don't know. I don't like it. And it was just disappointing to me. Because I have always loved James so much. And I still do, of course. Like, I still love James. It's just, this palette was not it for me, sis. It just wasn't. Big, enormous exhale. Like, are you kidding me right now? I'm just going to pack a little bit more on the side. Ugh. This looks really horrible. Can't lie. Like, it just doesn't look good. And I'm not trying to make it look bad. It's so patchy and hard to blend. And we're going to do some more blending. And let's go ahead and do a little bit of blending work here. Because packing it on, I mean, there's not too much that can go wrong with that. I mean, you're packing on some color. But when you try to blend it and make it look pretty and make it look the way you want to, it's doing the same thing that it did every freaking time. Are you kidding me? I don't know if you guys can see. I'm going to get a little closer in just a sec and show you. Okay, let's see. Can you guys see that it's literally separating right in my crease? Can you guys see that? It's separating right in my crease. And then the edges look so muddy. I get frustrated every time I touch this palette. This is why I just ended up selling it to my friend, because I knew I was going to keep trying to make it work, and it just wasn't happening for me. Which you can, of course, like, it's separating in the crease, but you can obviously cut your crease to make that look better. But you see how, I mean, I just feel like I'm having to work so hard to get this to look even presentable that it is just not worth the money, in my opinion. And I have not heard many, I mean, I've seen a couple of YouTube videos about it, but they're all from smaller YouTubers. And I think that there's a reason for that, you guys. I mean, the big YouTubers, they're all friends with James. They don't want to talk badly about his palette. And I don't want to talk bad about James, but if the palette's not good, I'm not going to act like it is. Sorry about it. So, next thing we're going to do is, and this might be a positive. I really did like the black in his palette. So that's what we are going to go ahead and tap into. And we're going to get more into my opinion on the differences between the palettes in a second. Because I'm still trying to see if I think that there is a difference or not. So this is this eye. So we're going to go over here. And I'm just going to go in with this black. And one thing I will say is I did love the black. And I want this look to look good. I really do. Because me and my friend are going to Starbucks after this.
FYI, she took the makeup off before we went to Starbucks because it was that bad.
So, I don't want to look ridiculous. I mean, the black is very pigmented. I will say that. But, God, I'm still having patchiness issues. I just am. I wish I wasn't. But I am. I don't know. Like, and honestly, like, my friends had told me that I should do this video whenever I first tried the palette and I didn't like it. And at first I said no. And the reason that I said no is because it is kind of intimidating to go on YouTube and talk about one of the biggest YouTubers out there's palettes like that. It really is. Because I never want to be mean to anybody ever. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like a lot of people are spending their money on this palette. And I feel like that they should, they should know what the true tea is on it. I just feel like they should. Also, you can definitely tell there's a lot of fallout, but I definitely expect that from a pressed pigment palette, so I ain't stressing that too hard. We're going to just pack a little bit more blue on and start working on some blending as far as that black goes, because I just wanted that to deepen up the crease a little and cover up all the patch. I wanted to cover up all the patchiness, but it's just getting patchier as we go. I mean, you guys, like, this palette is bad. I'm so sorry, but God, it is. And y'all, I mean, you can tell me a million times that I'm using it wrong and that I don't know how to use pressed pigments and whatever, that's fine. But I know from my personal self that I do actually know how to use pressed pigments, and I have a palette that is literally, how many pressed pigments does this come with? I have a 35 color pressed pigment palette sitting right next to me, where every single color in the palette is pressed pigments, and I did not have any, not one single, I didn't have any of these issues, basically, is what I'm trying to say to you. Not one of these issues with that palette. But it's just it was kind of frustrating to me when I got this palette and didn't like it, because I went to look for other reviews that said the same thing, and none of them did. Like I wanted to see a YouTube video of someone that didn't like the palette to see, if it was just me or if it was the palette. And none of them were titled, I don't like the James Charles palette, or this or that, and the ones that were clickbait. But as I was watching just some of the regular YouTubers I watch, I noticed that they would mention that it was patchy, but then at the end they would still recommend the palette. And that's just kind of crazy to me, because I cannot, me personally, I'm a single mom. I do not have extra money to spend like that. And I just can't see myself encouraging someone to spend their $39, almost $40 plus shipping on a palette that I liked not even half of the colors in. For me, I've only liked the shimmers that I've tried, and I only kind of like those shimmers. But I just can't picture myself recommending that someone spend their $40 on a palette that was patchy, you know what I'm saying? Because I have, like I said, what is it? The Take Me Back to Brazil palette from BH Cosmetics. It's all pressed pigments, and it works beautifully. And so and it's only $20. So that's what I would recommend to someone, And I just, me personally, like, I'm not trying to act like I'm some big beauty guru, because I know I'm not. But if I was and I knew that I had a lot of reach, I'm going to have to redo my face makeup. If I knew I had a lot of reach and I had a lot of people looking to me to see what, like, to get their opinions before they buy makeup, I would never want to recommend them something that I know personally didn't work for me, just because I was scared of the reaction I would get. Because some people are actually going to listen to you and go buy it, and they're going to waste their money on it and be upset. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So that's all on. It looks really bad. Let's get close to show. Can you guys see how horrible it looks? I hope it's picking up on camera, because it looks terrible in person. And I'm putting this on just like I would I don't usually pack colors on, but that is what James said to do. And so that's what I did to give it a fair shot, but it still looks like absolute trash. I'm going to look really bad at Starbucks is basically what I'm trying to tell you guys. Yeah, so. This palette honestly puts me in a bad mood every time I use it because my makeup doesn't look good, so I don't feel good. And honestly, my makeup looked really good before I wiped it off to make this video. Can't even flex. It looked really good, so. T. So anyways, if I start getting irritated in this video, that's why. I'm going to go ahead and just cut my crease really quick. We're just going to do, I guess we'll do a full cut crease. Why not? Because I want to play around with multiple different colors while I'm doing the cut crease. Wow, that cut crease actually didn't. And one thing I have seen is that the cut crease will a lot of times save these looks. So, we'll see. But one thing I don't want to just say negative things about this palette. I absolutely love the shimmers. The shimmers, and I honestly can't lie, because I sold the palette pretty quickly after I realized I didn't like it. But, so I didn't have it long, so I didn't play around with any of the neutrally shades, and those might be good, but I did not spend $40 on this palette for only the neutrals and the shimmers to be good, because I have a million other palettes that can do that. I bought this palette because of what James said. He said it would be, you know, it would be good, you know, if you're like a traveling makeup artist and you want to throw it in your kit. Like, that's what I wanted from this palette, and that is not what I got. I got something that was frustrating and hard to use, and in my opinion, if it's this hard for me to use on myself, yo, I can only imagine me trying to, because doing makeup on other people was harder than doing it on myself, in my opinion. So I can only imagine me trying to use this on another person. You know what I'm saying? So it just was not what I wanted from the palette at all. So let's go ahead and tap into Artistry. That's a really popular color from this. And Artistry, and let me show you, is this color right here. He said it was one of his favorite colors in the palette. So let's use that. Can you guys see that? That's right. No, you can't. And I will say this. He did say you're supposed to layer this color over top of things. So, you know, whatever. Shade me in the comments. I don't care. Shade me in the comments. Come at me. Whatever. I really couldn't care less. T. I'm not trying to sound like I'm fooling myself. I just don't really care if people watch this and get mad, because I'm not here to make people happy. I'm here to tell you how I feel about this palette. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not here to shade James Charles either. I love James Charles. I really do. And it probably doesn't sound like it after this video. It's just that this palette is bad. It's not my favorite thing. I just didn't like it. And I've had a lot of people asking me for my opinion on it. So it looks okay. It looks okay. And like I said, the shimmers in this palette are something that I did like. And you can't really see it, but I am switching the palettes. They're just in my lap, so you can't tell. And I don't feel like being redundant and saying, okay, I'm switching palettes now. But I did have to put a lot of layers of that shade to get it to show up on this eye, so that's one thing that be wary of. So, you guys, I don't want this to be, I hate being negative. I'm not a negative person, period. I'm just not. Like, I hate being negative, especially towards someone, or not, that's not towards James, but towards a palette that I sincerely looked forward to. And, you know, I really do like him. Like, I love his videos. I just love everything about him, but this palette did disappoint me because of how much I do like James and how much I respect him and thought of him, you know, and it just, I don't know, it just really sucks because I looked forward to this for a really long time. And right now I'm popping on Hello right in the center. Oh, okay, yeah. See, I really, honestly, I do like the shimmers in this. Like, I'm not gonna act like I don't like this. I'm not trying to act like I hate the whole palette. I'm just trying to give you my honest opinions on it is what I'm trying to do. So yeah, I do like that. That's really pretty. I really do like the shimmers in this palette. They're stunning. And that's what my friend loves. My friend that I sold it to, she loves the color Face. That's the main reason that she, wow. That's the main reason that she bought it. Wow, that's really, really pretty. The shimmers in this palette are beautiful. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. But you know what I will tell you? That, so I know I mentioned earlier that I thought, that my friend had thought that maybe the palettes, the formulas in the palettes were a little different. And as I'm getting closer to being done with this eye look, I wonder if she might be right. Like, because as I just, the first blue, the blue shimmer called Hello, I tapped into it, and it was nice, and I put it on, it looked really good, but then I tapped into the second one, and it was like, I don't know, it just felt different. And no one else has even said anything about this. I literally could be insane. But I feel like this first restock, or the first initial palette that came out, is working differently from the one that I had bought a few restocks later. And I don't know why. I don't know if anyone else has had, I mean, why would you buy palettes from the two different restocks though? This is just like, this just happened on a whim. I don't know why anybody else would even be testing this theory, so this might be why no one's mentioned it. This happened on a whim because I sold my friend the palette that I bought during a different restock, and she used it, and she told me that it seemed a little bit different than her initial palette, and so I was like, T, let's test it out on camera. And I do see what she means. I mean, I'll show you in a minute, and you guys saw I did the same things on both eyes. And this eye, which is the eye with the initial palette, looks so much better. I mean, it doesn't look good, but it doesn't, look, I'll show you. You see how much more that blended on the side? It's still not blended super great, but look how, and I did try to, let's just give it a fair shot and blend it just a little bit more and see if it does anything. No. I feel like this side is being a lot harder to blend for some reason. And then it's like, with this palette, the more you blend, the patchier it gets. So it's like, I don't want to do it too freaking much. But this eye definitely looks different and better in my opinion. And it might just be me. Let me know in the comments if you can see what I'm seeing. Because it might be me being crazy. Like, I'm not, I don't know. But look, let's get closer one more time. Let's get her to focus on me. Focus on me. Yeah, there we go. So this is the eye with the third or fourth restock palette, right? And this is the eye with the first restock. And it still is not blended very well on the edges. I'm not trying to act like it is because I could not get it to blend to save my life. But it does look a little bit better than this eye. I don't know. So I'm not doing the rest of my face makeup on camera. I know it's messed up. I'm going to get to that later. But one thing I do want to do is, and I'll insert this at the end of the video, is some swatches. Because I know there was a lot of drama surrounding his swatches. And as we watched the video, and I watch a lot of tea spill. So I'm in on the tea. But as I was watching the video, I noticed that he was cutting in his, like, cutting to a, you could tell that he probably had a double swatch because he cut in the middle of it, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to insert some swatches at the end. I guess I'll serve you some looks so you can see this up close. And yeah, I just want to finish this by saying this was not for me trying to come at James like that. It was just me giving my honest opinion on the palette. I personally don't like it. It didn't work for me, but that doesn't mean it won't work for you. So you can always try it. I do think that the palettes and the restocks might be different. That's the tea. That's the conspiracy. It's not confirmed, obviously. That's just my opinion. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. Please don't come at me in the comments, but you can. I really don't care. But yeah, have a wonderful day. And yeah, love you guys. Bye. It's very difficult to work with.
It just is. And, you know, if you're mad about that, you can come at me. I don't care. People get mad when you talk crap about the James Charles palette, which I'm not talking crap about it. I love it, but if you don't do a lot of makeup like every day, no, this ain't it, Chief. Like, you will have such a hard time with it, I swear. Like, it's just not what I expected it to be. It's just very difficult to use. Yeah, it's hard.